The Mediterranean, a cradle of civilization. For millennia, its waters have been a conduit for trade, culture, and human connection. A sparkling jewel of tourism. Its azure waves and golden sands attract millions seeking leisure and escape. But today, it's also a watery graveyard. The same waters that bring joy to some, bring despair to others. Thousands risk their lives crossing it each year, chasing a dream, fleeing a nightmare. They come from war-torn regions, from lands where hope is a distant memory. What awaits them on the other side? Often it's uncertainty and a struggle for survival in a new land. Often not the welcome they hoped for. Instead, they find themselves in crowded camps, waiting for a chance at a new life. Imagine fleeing war, persecution, poverty so dire you'd risk everything for a sliver of hope. Imagine the desperation that drives a person to leave everything behind. That's the reality for countless souls who board rickety boats, clutching onto hope and a few meager possessions. Each item they carry tells a story of a life left behind. Their journey is fraught with danger, a testament to human resilience and the desperation born of dire circumstances. The sea is unforgiving and many do not make it to the other side. Yet amidst the peril there are moments of humanity. Brave rescuers risk their own lives to save others, offering a glimmer of hope in the darkest of times. And for those who survive, the journey is far from over. They must navigate the complexities of a new life, often facing prejudice and hardship. But there are also stories of resilience and triumph. Refugees who find a new home, who rebuild their lives and contribute to their new communities. The Mediterranean remains a sea of dreams and an ocean of tears. It is a place where hope and despair coexist, where the human spirit is tested and sometimes prevails. The numbers are staggering, heartbreaking. Thousands vanish beneath the waves each year, their stories untold, their dreams drowned. The lucky ones survive, but their tales are often harrowing. Tales of overcrowded boats, of scorching sun and bitter cold, of hunger, thirst, and the ever-present fear of capsizing.
We were 200 people on a boat meant for 50. We spent days at sea without food or water. Many died.
Her story, sadly, is not unique. It's a grim reminder of the human cost of this crisis. Europe, once a beacon of hope, now tightens its borders, fortifying itself against the tide of humanity washing upon its shores. Walls go up, fences are erected, laws become more stringent. The message is clear: stay out. This Fortress Europe mentality does little to address the root causes of migration. It merely pushes desperate people into the hands of smugglers, forcing them to take even greater risks. The irony is tragic. By trying to keep people out, Europe is inadvertently making their journeys even more deadly. In the shadows of desperation lurk the smugglers, vultures preying on vulnerability. They promise safe passage, a better life, but deliver only danger and exploitation. These modern-day slave traders are driven by profit, their hearts unmoved by the suffering they inflict. The boats they provide are often barely seaworthy, overcrowded and ill-equipped. The migrants, treated like cargo, are packed in like sardines, their hopes and dreams crammed alongside their meager belongings. The journey is a gamble, with lives hanging in the balance, a macabre lottery where the prize is survival. Section 5. When Humanity Capsized, a Timeline of Tragedy. The Mediterranean Sea has become, well, synonymous with tragedy. Hardly a month goes by without news of another boat capsizing, another group of migrants lost at sea. The names and faces blur, but the collective grief remains, a heavy weight on the world's conscience. Remember Lampedusa? Remember Lesbos? These names are etched in our collective memory, grim reminders of the human cost of indifference. Each incident sparks outrage, calls for action. But then the news cycle moves on, the outrage fades, and the cycle of tragedy continues. Section 6. The Law of the Sea and the Sea of Despair. The vast, unpredictable ocean has always been a place of both peril and promise. For centuries, it has been a route for trade, exploration, and migration. But it has also been a site of countless tragedies where lives are lost to the unforgiving waves. International law is clear: rescuing those in distress at sea is not optional, it's an obligation. This principle is enshrined in maritime law, a testament to our shared humanity. When someone is in danger on the open water, it is the duty of every seafarer to offer assistance, regardless of nationality, status, or circumstance.
Yet we see rescue boats being impounded, their missions thwarted by bureaucratic red tape and political agendas. These vessels, once symbols of hope and salvation, are now caught in a web of legal and political battles. NGOs criminalized for their humanitarian work. These organizations, driven by compassion and a commitment to saving lives, find themselves under scrutiny, their efforts hampered by accusations and legal challenges. Volunteers are detained, their noble intentions questioned. The very act of saving lives is being politicized, caught in the crosshairs of anti-immigration sentiment. The debate over borders and sovereignty overshadows the immediate, pressing need to save those in peril. The sea, once a symbol of freedom and opportunity, has become a battleground for political ideologies.
This is not just about border control, it's about basic human decency. The moral imperative to help those in need transcends political boundaries. It speaks to the core of our shared humanity, reminding us that every life is precious and worth saving. When did saving a drowning person become a political act? The question echoes through the corridors of power and the hearts of those on the front lines. The answer, it seems, is lost in the tumult of political discourse and national interests.
We must remember that behind the statistics, the headlines, the political rhetoric, are real people, human beings just like you and me, deserving of our compassion and our help. Each face tells a story of hope, fear, and resilience. They are not just numbers or news items. They are individuals with dreams, families, and a desire for a better life. Our response to their plight defines who we are as a society and as a global community.
Section 8. Building bridges, not walls. Instead of investing in walls and fences, let's invest in education, healthcare, and job creation in countries of origin.
Let's provide humanitarian visas and resettlement programs. Let's create a world where people are not forced to risk their lives to seek a better future.
Imagine a world where every human being is treated with dignity and respect, regardless of where they come from.
Imagine a world where borders are not barriers, but bridges connecting people and cultures. This is the world we must strive to create.
Section 9. A light on the horizon, hope for a more humane future. The situation may seem bleak, but we cannot give in to despair. Even in the darkest times, there is always a glimmer of hope, a light on the horizon that guides us forward. It is this hope that fuels our determination to create a more humane and compassionate world. We must hold on to hope, the belief that we can create a better future for all. This hope is not just a passive wish, but an active commitment to making a difference. It is the driving force behind every act of kindness, every effort to help those in need, and every step we take towards building a more just and equitable society. We must never lose sight of our shared humanity, our capacity for compassion and empathy. These qualities are what make us human, and they are what will ultimately lead us to a brighter future. By recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every person, we can create a world where everyone is treated with respect and kindness. Let us honor the memory of those we have lost by working tirelessly to prevent future tragedies. Each life lost is a reminder of the urgent need for change and a call to action for all of us. We must strive to create a world where such tragedies are no longer a part of our reality. Let us be the generation that chooses compassion over indifference, that chooses hope over despair. Our actions today will shape the world of tomorrow, and it is up to us to decide what kind of future we want to create. By standing together and supporting one another, we can overcome even the greatest challenges. Let us be the generation that finally breaks the cycle of tragedy and builds a world where everyone has the opportunity to live a life of dignity and peace. This is not just a dream, but a goal that we can achieve through our collective efforts. Together we can create a future where hope and humanity prevail, and where every person has the chance to thrive.